Hi Sequels friends, spring is right around the corner. Thank the Lord. In fact, we had a gorgeous day here in Asheville, North Carolina, so I even believe that it is almost here. So the official start to spring is March 20th. That means we still have a few more weeks if your shop is not ready for spring and you still are on the hunt for some spring finds. So I thought today would be a great day to share with you the top 7 trends that I am on the lookout for when I'm thrifting. Hi Sequels friends, thank you so much for tuning in. It is wonderful to have you back here today. Let's get right into it. So let me start off by saying spring, there are all sorts of trends out there. You can easily do some Google searches and see what the fashion magazines, what the blogs, and what the runways have all predicted for spring. Now what I'm going to share with you are the trends that I have narrowed down that I think are suitable for my customer. So that's based on my sales history. And then 2, I also narrowed them down to things that I know that I typically find when I'm out thrifting. So that just gives you a brief criteria of why I decided on these 7 trends for spring. So first up is dopamine dressing. I usually am a very neutrals, jewel tone gal, but I am feeling this trend this spring. And this is basically experimenting and having lots of fun with color. If you're like me and you're a little bit more demure in your color, play with it with accents. Or you can just go crazy and dress like every crayon in the box. My dress here that I have listed that I wore a few videos back for you guys is a great example of using every crayon in the box. Just pour on all the fun color. Another way to dress in this trend is to go more monochromatic. So like this look is really pretty playing on pinks. And notice with this monochromatic look, the colors do not have to be the exact same color of pink. Playing with different tones works very well with this trend. Here's a dress, another dress that I have in my shop that shows like an electric blue and a bright pink, which would be great for this trend. Pair this with something fun like maybe a bold green necklace and green shoes if you really want to go for the box of crayons look. Another way to play on this color is to pick color combos. A few of my favorite color combos are like this, where you're pairing red with fuchsia. Another one that I really love and is good for so many different skin types is this yellow and green pairing. You can't go wrong with, again, like a bold electric blue and a bright orange. Remember, a lot of these color trends will cross over decades, so you'll be able to find them both in newer items like the Christopher John Rogers dress that I showed you, but also in vintage items like that, I'll pop it up here again, that electric pink and fuchsia dress. Totally 80s colorations will definitely work for this if you're boosting up on these trends in vintage. And as I always say, the best vintage to have is the vintage that is hitting current trends. It definitely moves faster. Trend number 2 that I am on the lookout for is the Crochet Craze. I am loving this. It definitely reads springtime, and you can certainly find crochet type items when you're out thrifting. This is a great category to look for without thinking about brand. Just pick it up based on trend because this category is moving so well. This is gorgeous. It kind of plays on those dopamine colors, but also has the very open knit weave. I don't know if this is totally classified as crochet, but it definitely has that feel. This is certainly crochet. Look at those big bell sleeves, that nice bodycon fit. You would definitely see something like this from the 90s, and so if you were able to find that vintage, it would definitely work now. Love this, again, with a very 90s feel with almost like the lettuce edge hem. Certainly something I can imagine seeing out thrifting, as well as this straight off the runway crochet, almost like a lace look. Lace is another category that does really well. To me, lace and open weave is always a springtime trend. Here's a vest that I have just recently thrifted and have put in my closet that fits on this trend. And then also here's a more transitional piece that fits on this trend. Just a basic t-shirt, but it still has the crochet inset detail. So think about it not only as a full-on piece where the crochet is from head to toe, but also maybe just the sleeves have a touch of crochet. Maybe there's just a crochet belt that goes with it. You're still hitting on those trends for people who may want to try the trend in a little bit more demure manner. Trend number 3 that I am crazy for is I am gaga for gingham. Again, this is totally a print that comes back fairly regularly and is a print that I think of all the time as a spring and even as a summer trend. What I really like about this is kind of the different way that you might see it paired. Gingham dresses are always popular. Love this one, but I love that she paired it with a super more modern accessory with the purse and then piled on the socks and the big chunky sneakers. It just makes this look much more fresh and it doesn't read as preppy or as 50s style as you would typically think of denim. I mean gingham. This is another really pretty take. I do believe this is technically gingham because it is the small check, but they've tilted it on its side so it has more of a diamond feel, and that blouse that she has on is to die for. I know it doesn't have to do with this trend, but if I could get my hands on that blouse, come on now. I love this to show more like an edgy style of gingham. Again, this silhouette of dress is very classic styling, but pairing it with the leather jacket kind of gives it a whole new feel. And do not forget, it's easy to think of gingham in skirts and dresses, but you can find it in pants all the time. These cute pants here, I'm imagining are like a cigarette style of pant. Here is a pair of pants that I recently added to my closet from a current Jomar box. And of course, from that same Jomar box, which was basically a box full of checks, plaids, and gingham. So it was right on trend, even though these are all vintage items. This one is perfect, and this one would look gorgeous with that leather jacket over it. Now, I gotta tell you, if you have not got onto the 70s dress craze between the gun-sex dresses and the 70s maxi dresses, prairie dresses, you are missing out. And those dresses are key to my next trend, which what are we on? Number 4, flower power, baby. Yes. Flower power consists all of vintage retro florals, and I think of this a lot in tops. Now you may find it in pants if you go back to 2000 styles, because these Poochie and even 90s, when the 70s came back big in the 90s, you might find some pants, but I think of it mostly in tops and certainly in maxi dresses and baby doll dresses. This top is cute. It looks like a current version playing on that retro floral in a very 70s orange and brown. This gal over here, this dress is fabulous with the big old sleeves and again in that retro print, but kind of like a new take on the color pattern. This gal is gorgeous. Look at these beautiful florals. And again, everything's not just 70s retro, although 70s retro is certainly big right now. All retro floral patterns are hot. So think about that when you're at the thrift store. And again, it doesn't all have to be dresses. How cool is this coat? This is something that I would totally imagine picking up at vintage store, and it would definitely hit on this trend. And of course, you know, I had to include my 2 favorite retro prairie maxi gun-sex-esque inspired dresses. This one that came in a recent Jomar box, and then also this gorgeous bell sleeve one that I picked up at the bins. These are definitely silhouettes that are working right now, and as I said, if I can find them, chances are you can find them while you're out thrifting as well. Now, it wouldn't be a trends list in any sort of way without including denim. So trend number 5 is denim. I talked a little bit about this in my fall trends video, and we're basically going on very similar feel, which is basically just loose, relaxed fit denim. The way that this picture shows it off, and it's all loose and comfy and cozy from the sneakers all the way up to the baggier t-shirt like we would see in the past. Here, this girl looks like she's time traveling. She came totally out of the 90s with that baby doll tee and that relaxed fit denim, and again with a nice chunky sneaker. If you like more of a boho vibe, think of it all distressed, think about rolling up the cuff. This relaxed fit looks great through all sorts of different stylings. And I am in love with this. I love the slash at the thigh. I love that big honking cuff. And again, she's just pairing it with a sweatshirt and some really basic sneakers. So this just more relaxed fit, what you used to think of denim as, being really chill and relaxed and away from that really skinny form-fitting silhouette. A couple of examples that I want to share with you from my closet are both 90s retro jeans, because the relaxed fit where it was looser around the legs and the hips was super popular, like this pair of Wranglers that I just recently sold, as well as these Rider jeans. So somewhat of the mom jean, but I see it now with less of the tapered or the straight or skinny leg. And it even has, to me, it's just more of a boyfriend fit. More trends to get to, and this trend, again, like I said with some of the other trends, it seems like springtime always calls out certain trends, and I am living for this one, and it is white. And I called it white before Labor Day, although I could give any craps about any rules, especially archaic old school rules about what you could wear, who can wear what, and when you can wear it. But it seemed appropriate for this category because it's just a springtime thing to do white. I always love white. White is a basic that always works, but I love also to see it here paired in different ways. So the first one up, she has on a white top, white purse, and white, I guess you might call these dad sneakers. I would call them sneakers. But you are seeing a lot more white even in just sneakers. There was a time there where all the sneakers were bold, bright colors, and then we went through this whole like Kardashian influence, really nude, really subtle colors, and now you're just seeing a lot of just basic white. So when you're out there thrifting, think about that, even when it comes to accessories and sneakers. I love this style of white because it's basically the monochromatic look, but in white. The white crop top, the wide leg white pants, white sneakers, and socks. Here are 3 different versions of white, from a more career take to a more very springtimey look. And again, this top is gorgeous with that sweetheart neckline, cropped, which is really big right now. And it's just white all the way down to the accessories. A couple of silhouettes that I have thrifted recently for my shop is this gorgeous white cable knit. It is cropped, which cropped is definitely a thing that's coming back again for spring. And it does have that sweater vest / sleeveless sweater thing going on, which is really trending. And you can't go wrong with just basic white slip dress. It just screams spring and summertime. Again, some of these pieces are just classic. You could thrift them every spring. And then last up for trend number 7 is the same thing that we talked about in fall and is the same that I am on the lookout for, and it is the Y2K influence. And I'm gonna show you a couple of the Y2K specific trends that I'm looking for, because again, the trends overlap. Rib knit, mohair knits, any sort of twin set where you have the top and the cardigan that match, definitely worth picking up. Definitely see those a lot in the wild. Here's another great cropped cardigan, but in a boxier look. And this one is way cropped. cardigan. And again, notice the rib knit and it's a bold color. The other Y2K specific trend that I am focusing on that I've already seen, again, some movement on is Y2K shoes. So here's a great example of a strappy sandal. Again, I think of it a little bit more as a career shoe, very strappy, and it has a nice heel. And so here's a great example of a strappy sandal. Again, I think of it a little bit more as a career shoe, very strappy, and it has a nice heel. And the next ones, mules, slip-on shoes, square toes, chunky kitten heel. It's hitting so many Y2K trends and being in that baby pink. There is the one and only platform slide with that matching purse, totally reads 2000s. And this is an example of a pair that sold really quickly for me that I do believe came in a Jomar, or I can't remember if it was a Jomar vintage box or a Jomar pre-loved box. But again, super Y2K, from the pastel purple and pink to the beadwork, to the strappiness, to the chunky ass kitten heel. Loafers, especially chunky loafers, but just loafers in general are working really well. Just to reiterate, 7 trends that I am on the lookout for when I am out thrifting. Dopamine dressing, bold, bright colors. Crochet Craze, if it's crocheted, pick it up. GaGa for gingham, all sorts of colorations. I know a lot of what I showed was black and white, but any coloration of gingham would be great. Of course, Flower Power Man, loving those retro inspired florals across all silhouettes. When you're looking for denim, look for loose and baggier fits. And do not sleep on those Y2K trends, especially when it comes to cardigans, cropped items, and as well as the shoes. So if you found this trends video helpful, please do go ahead and hit that thumbs up button. And if you've been watching a couple of my videos, you might as well join the Sequels friendship and go ahead and hit that subscribe button, ring that bell so that you're notified every Friday when I upload a new video. If there is a specific trend that you know that you're out thrifting for spring that I did not mention, go ahead and comment that below too, because I would love to hear what's working for you. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. I do so appreciate each and every one of you. I love to hear from you. I love your comments and I love interacting with you. If you haven't already, please do consider following me on TikTok. I am sharing, while I'm sharing a few shorts over here, I am sharing things more regularly over there to let you know what's sold recently, some thrift things that I pick up, some tips and tricks. So my TikTok is down below, so be sure that you follow that as well. I would love to interact with you over there. Thank you guys so much, and I hope you guys have a fabulous weekend, and I'll see you next Friday with some more reselling content. Take care, everybody. Bye-bye. Hi, Sequels friends. Can you believe that spring is right around the corner? Oh, thank goodness. That means it is still time to pick up some thrift. Hi, Sequels friends.